to Show and Tell. This is Armistead's official podcast. I am Craig Hoover, and I'm with Brian Wright here, and we're going to do our best to take you through the development process, the planning process of creating a new town. It's a new community, and we are new at this. We are developers and planners, but we think this might be a really interesting way for you to keep the finger on the pulse of where this is going, and you might be interested in developing a new urbanism in Franklin, Tennessee or Middle Tennessee. No matter what your interest might be, I think you'll find something in here for us, or at least we hope so, and we're going to give it a go.
We're definitely not podcasters, though, so you have to bear with us. We're going to do our best. This is fun, though. You know, like everything else about this project, we're trying to do something a little bit different rather than just sending out email blasts and, you know, having you be on a list and you click on the email and have to read through. Hopefully we'll create some content here that you all want to watch, and we'll give you the update in that fun kind of way as well.
That's right. That's right. So first, let's talk a little bit about who we are. So let's start with you, Brian. Brian, who are you?
Well, so I am a Franklin resident for nearly 20 years now, and have lived over in West Haven the whole time since I moved here from Maryland, originally from Alabama. And in addition to being a developer, I also own a planning and urban design firm. And so we do plans for cities and towns and developers all across the country, helping them plan the future that's prosperous and sustainable and all of those things. And so just, you know, I always tell the story of being, you know, living across the street, across 96 from the farm for 18 years now. I always drove past, you know, nearly on a daily basis and worried about what would become of the farm. And I just hoped that somehow I'd be able to be involved in it, and to now be, you know, a part of the development team is just a dream come true. So that kind of gets us up to today for me.
Yeah.
And you, sir?
Yes, I am Craig Hoover, and I'm serving as the sort of the master developer on the project. My background is varied, but I started out in theater, and then ended up sort of drinking the new urbanism Kool-Aid along with my friend Brian here, and that's how we actually met at a new urbanism conference, I believe, or down in Rosemary, or, you know, one of those things. And anyway, and that got me into mixed use development planning and development. And so I was a consultant for a long time, and then got hooked up with a small little resort project here called South Hall, and where I led the design and development of that for the last 5 or 6 years, and now we are here to embark upon a new project, which is Armistead, and which is 200 acres right across the street from West Haven on New Highway 96 West, and it is a century farm. Been in the Short family for 135 years, and it really is an interesting origin that I think maybe we should play the clip here. I think that's the way to really introduce this the best here. So
yeah, nobody tells it better than Bill.
That's right, Bill Short, the patriarch of this expansive family at the Charette. We'll explain that a little bit later. Came on and sort of talked about how this all started and where the family's coming from, and so we'll let him do that, and then we'll see you on the other side.
My name is Bill Short of the Short Shorts that you have been talking about, we hope, or hearing from for the last week, almost week. And we want to thank all of you for being here. We want to thank all of those of you here and those who are not here that have been part of this charrette since last Thursday night. We are overwhelmed by the response, the positivity, the sharing of ideas that so much align with what we have been envisioning and hoping for. We are very grateful to our developers, Mr. Craig Hoover and Mr. Brian Wright, who you see before me here, and their team, their large team, who have been putting together the aggregation of ideas that you have brought us. We have been the curators of this plot the last 136 years. We have always been aware that it's just for that time that we're minding it. It is for our ancestors and others in this region who so value this beautiful dimple of the universe, as it's been called, that we want to preserve the system of farming. We want to use it as an educational tool. We want to see that that spreads to a larger community. So it isn't just about our family, it's about the larger community. We have been excited to see so many ideas that we would never have dreamed of. And we want to once again say that tonight shows the culmination of a great deal of work, some very late nights with these guys. And I don't know that I have much else to add except our profound thanks. So here we go.
As you can tell, Bill is quite the storyteller and orator, and so we'll actually have him as a special guest down the road on future podcasts, so you'll hear more from him and maybe even some other family members as well, and so look forward to that for sure.
Yeah, so, and we're going to leave this, kind of pin this to the top of the podcast page as an overview. So by way of overview, Brian, what is Armistead supposed to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're figuring it out as we go, but no, all kidding aside, the family has really asked us to create a special place that they can really be proud of moving forward into the future, that really builds off the legacy and the heritage of farming, the land that they've undertaken for the past 135 years. And in order to do that, we are using a planning concept called an agrihood. So the agrihood is really, honestly, often it's used as a marketing term. A lot of communities call themselves agri-hoods. They've got some community gardens, some greenwashing, grow a couple of squash, and now they're an agri-hood. The way that we use the term is really much more very focused on the agriculture being as important as the development side of things. And so we've laid out the community and a series of villages and hamlets, mix of uses, but rather than the agriculture being next to, beside, behind, whatever, it's woven through. It's all interspersed, so that part of the joy of living in the community is that everywhere you look, you're surrounded by the growing, by the conservation, by the preservation of the riparian corridors around the stream, and areas that we seek to sort of bring back the natural habitat in areas that we're growing and cultivating. So really the agrihood, sort of umbrella term, that's how we apply it to this. But also taking it one step further, you mentioned new urbanism earlier. And the idea is that in a new urbanist community, it's focused on being walkable, compact, mixed use, etc. And so we're not just creating an agrihood that is a conventional subdivision that has agriculture as part of it. This is truly a new urbanist community, which is, as I said, walkable, mixed use, compact, diverse, etc. And combining that with the agrihood concept in a way that, as far as we know, hasn't really been done around the country. So we're creating a national model through what we're doing here in Franklin.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to stop for now. I think we'll come back with our first episode where we dive a little deeper. Of course, if you found us, you probably already know that we're at armisteadtn.com. If you'd like to email us, go right ahead. hello@armisteadtn.com. And I'm sure we'll put a clickable link somewhere below or something like that. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Maybe we'll just have it hover over my hand. Anyway, we're just getting the hang of this. So thanks for listening, and we will see you very, very soon.
Thanks, y'all.